sole authentication to take place. I don't know what any of those lines do, other than it makes it work. Okay, so in this file, what was this, our XM4 configuration, we added those changes to enable TLS when they connect to certain ports, SASL authentication, and now some other things I have to do to make sure XM can use that SASL service. So it's a totally separate service that XM has, or that's built into XM. It's a separate service. So I've got to add a separate user and add them, or actually, Debian XM should already be created when we install that XM daemon heavy. We're going to add that Debian XM to the SASL group. And then we're going to apply the template changes to our configuration files by doing sudo update xm4.com. XM will go reread that configuration file we just edited. We'll restart XM. I didn't type the command there, but restart XM. Check our open ports. How do we do that? Netstat. And this is a second way of running it. But now I'm seeing, okay, I've got port 25, which is SMTP. I've got port 993, which is what? IMAP. Oh, I don't see anything else here yet. 587, and it's not there. So I didn't restart XM. So after I restarted XM, now I'm seeing 587 and 465 and 25. So these are all the 587, 465, those are the ports I need available to do secure SMTP. So it's there, and that means we hope it's working, but we can't just hope, we have to test. So the next test is setting up a client and seeing if I can send and receive email to and from that client. Questions yet? No? Okay. Okay, let's look at the client then. So for the client, I use Thunderbird. You know, Thunderbird, I just chose it because you can download it on Windows, Mac, Linux, wherever. I don't care if you use Thunderbird. You can use your mail client for OS 10 if you want. You can use, I don't know, some other mail client. But here's an example of how we're going to make this happen. Okay, so you download, click download, you install, you extract, you run it. So here's your initial page that you get to after you install Thunderbird. This is my client, and I'm trying to connect back to my mail server to be able to interact, to send and receive mail messages. Okay, so we're going to click on, and other clients are going to follow a similar process. You need to add your mail account. So I'm going to click on New Existing Mail Account. And then it asks me to fill in, okay, what is the name of this account? So I just put in joe@thegummibear.com and my password on the mail machine. And it tries to look up your configuration. I've never got it to succeed there. So it says, failed to find settings. So then I will just go and set them up. So for incoming mail, we're going to use IMAP, so we'll choose that drop down. We'll give it the server host name. IMAP's on port 993, and that's using a secure channel. So we'll check SSL, TLS, and we're using a normal password. That's for this stream. To do the other stream is the next line. For SMTP, I'll also connect to the same host. We'll connect to port 587. We'll connect using start TLS. You can go read about the difference between that and SSL TLS if you want to. And that's also using normal password. You put your username, and if there's a different outgoing username, you can have that as well. So then I pushed done, and the first thing that I had pop up was this certificate. Now one day I was doing this with a student, and we couldn't get the certificate to pop up. I swear we were looking at it for like 30 minutes. Turns out it was on the screen behind. And it popped up behind our existing screen. So look around. It should, at least the first time you connect, prompt you and say, hey, I went and requested the certificate, or actually, let's see here. Is that what this is saying? Yeah, I went on port 993, I went and grabbed the certificate. But it says the certificate is invalid. This site attempts to identify itself with invalid information. Why is it invalid?
Because it hasn't been signed.
Hasn't been signed by VeriSign. Okay, so we don't care.
Before though, we don't want to take them.
Right. So we'll hit confirm security exception. And then I will, okay, great. Then it shows my account up here, joe@thegummibear.com. Cool. I could do a test to send mail. Okay, all right. I'll do a test to send mail, and I'll hit whatever send, and I'll test it to my Gmail account. And I did get it. However, let me back up. This is port 993. Don't I have another certificate that should come in for port 587? And the answer is yes. So I didn't take a screenshot of it. Right when I hit send here, another thing popped up saying, here's the certificate again. Are you sure you want to use this? And I hit yes. And sometimes that certificate, like I said, sometimes it pops up in the screen behind and it, there. So you'll have to accept 2 certificates at least the first time you do it. You'll want to do your tests to Gmail or some other mail server and back. So this is my test from my Gmail. This is my response back. And I went and got messages then inside of Thunderbird. I went and grabbed the messages, and it should come up here and say, oh, I went and grabbed your messages. I say grab it. It's not downloading them, it's just interacting with them on the server. But I should be able to read them and make sure that I got them. So I think, yeah, I'm trying to think what the most common errors are. Is not finding the certificate and accepting it, and then setting these up correctly. Don't even bother setting this up unless you run the netstat command that your ports are open. It's not going to work. Make sure your ports are open before you even do this. Okay, phew, I'm done. That was talking too long. So let's stop. Happy Friday. And on your way out, I'll play the Fat Boys for you.